Air pollution is regarded as a major environmental risk, and clean air is considered to be a basic requirement of human health and well-being. A national air quality strategy is in place in the UK to improve air quality through policies. These policies recognise the importance of local authorities, with a suggestion that action taken at a local level can be particularly successful at tackling localised air quality problems. Aberdeen is Scotland's third largest city, with an estimated population of over 200,000 people. It's a coastal city between two rivers and is situated in the northeast of Scotland. The initial establishment and continuation of Aberdeen City as a settlement is strongly linked to the harbour and fishing industry. This industry maintained a thriving population which has since increased drastically through the discovery of North Sea oil. Aberdeen has been the base for major oil companies and oil-related development since the 1960s, and this, along with the presence of two universities and further development, has increased pressure on housing developments and transport infrastructure. Congestion is a crucial issue in Aberdeen, as infrastructure within the city is not kept up with the increasing population. Part of the issue is the location of Aberdeen itself. While this location was key in the establishment of the city, it has resulted in limited crossing points over the two rivers, and specific points where air pollution levels are exceeding national air quality objectives. The main strategy to alleviate these air quality issues is through the local transport strategy and the Air Quality Action Plan, which both focus on key projects to lower emissions and influence travel choice, which will then assist in reducing air pollution in Aberdeen City and the associated negative effects on human health and the environment. The population of Aberdeen City and its suburbs is increasing, as is life expectancy, so a sustainable transport system for Aberdeen City will need to accommodate the needs of an ageing population and an increasing number of commuters. At the same time, the local government needs to try and meet the targets for the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions from transport. Air pollution from traffic also poses a significant human health risk, through prolonged exposure to dangerous chemicals, particularly for people who are predisposed to heart and lung conditions. Balancing the demand for improved infrastructure with the need to protect the environment and human health poses many challenges. Greenhouse gas and CO2 emissions are a major contributor to climate change. Although the Scottish Government has set targets for the reduction of CO2 emissions, levels are still high in Aberdeen, largely due to transport emissions. Poor air quality is a concern in parts of the city, and 3 air quality management areas have been identified at Wellington Road, Anderson Drive and King Street and Union Street area, where nitrogen dioxide and particulate matter emissions regularly exceed the annual mean limit, largely due to cars, buses and heavy goods vehicles. Aberdeen City Council has identified a number of ways in which air pollution could be tackled through an improved local transport infrastructure. These include encouraging the use of cycling, public transport and shared vehicles. The city's cycle lane network stretches to about 118 kilometres. However, due to the demand for parking in many city centre areas, these cycle lanes are often discontinuous, as they are broken up by on-street parking spaces. This makes cycling less appealing as a transport option, as cyclists end up forced to either get into traffic or mount the pavement, risking their safety and the safety of pedestrians. Taking more cars out of the city centre could help the expansion of the cycle lane network and make cycling a more attractive mode of transport. Aberdeen now has over 40 charge points for electric vehicles, as well as a fleet of approximately 40 car club vehicles, designed to encourage a reduction in car ownership. The city is also serviced by 2 bus companies, one of which has a small fleet of low-emission hydrogen buses. However, the majority of people still choose to travel by car. The Department of Transport estimates that of the almost 383,000 vehicle miles recorded in Aberdeen's major roads in 2015, over 304,000 were by car. Just over 2,900 were by bus. In an attempt to redirect traffic from the city centre, the construction of the Western Peripheral Route is underway and is due to be completed soon. The new 46-kilometre long dual carriageway was jointly proposed by the Scottish Executive, Aberdeen City Council and Aberdeenshire Council, and has long been awaited by local residents. Although it is hoped that the peripheral route will significantly improve travel in and around Aberdeen and the northeast of Scotland, critiques have said that there are issues to be considered, especially the problem of moving air pollution rather than solving it. In general, the route passes through agricultural areas of low ecological value, but there are a number of sites within the route corridor designated for their ecological importance, including the River Dee Special Area of Conservation, sites of special scientific interest, district wildlife sites, and sites of interest to natural science. Some areas are valuable habitats supporting a range of species, including protected species such as badgers, bats, otters, waterfoals, and red squirrels. Some of the ecological impacts arising from the Aberdeen Western Periphery route include the potential for wildlife fatalities and the loss, fragmentation, and severance of habitat. The scheme may result in significant disturbance to species and the potential pollution of freshwater habitats. In June 2016, an investigation was launched by SEPA following multiple reports of significant silt pollution in watercourses surrounding the Aberdeen Western Periphery route, following heavy downpours. SEPA officers, supported by Transport Scotland officers, are continuously inspecting watercourses alongside the bypass to identify the sources and impact of pollution on the wider water environment. These include protected spawning grounds for salmon and freshwater pearl mussels. Although traffic and air pollution will be reduced in Aberdeen city centre, there are also concerns that air pollution will increase in Kingswell and around Aberdeen Airport as a consequence of the bypass. Does Aberdeen Council tackle its air pollution problem efficiently? Or should the Council adopt stronger policies to reduce traffic in Aberdeen city centre? Today, more cities around the world are committing to reduce their carbon emission and pollution targets. Paris, Oslo, and Mexico are planning to ban all diesel by 2050, while the Netherlands and Germany are pushing the target even further by aiming for a ban on the sale of diesel and petrol vehicles, only allowing for the sale of hydrogen and electrical cars in the future. Many cities such as Freiburg are encouraging bicycle and pedestrian use while providing cheap and efficient public transport to reduce traffic. In Curitiba, the southern Brazilian city of 2 million people has one of the biggest and lowest cost bus systems in the world. Nearly 70% of the city goes to work by public transport, and the result is pollution-free air and traffic-free streets. Aberdeen is also following the route to be air pollution-free and has decided to be the first city in Scotland to adopt low-emission zones. Councillors voted in favour of exploring the feasibility of creating these zones throughout the city when the Aberdeen City Council 2017-18 budget was approved in February 2017. The Council has embraced environmental projects of all scales, from investment in electric vehicle fleets and cycle paths, through to the £21 million hydrogen bus project. But the Council is not solely responsible for tackling air pollution in the city, and we all have to play a part in creating a better environment for all.